Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about how you can get started with mental training. Everyone thinks that mental training is difficult to implement and really nebulous. And it's true that mental training is more complex than physical training, but that doesn't mean you can't see quick and significant results from taking small steps, especially because mental training is such a neglected area. People think that mental training for climbing is all about being brave and pushing past limiting beliefs. But actually, for a lot of climbers, they need to pare back the challenge level. It's really common for climbers to push themselves too much and ingrain fear, which is the opposite of what we want to do. On the other end of the spectrum, maybe you're stuck in your comfort zone, not challenging yourself and not growing as a climber as a result. In a nutshell, many people are not aware of what distracts them or what scares them and to what extent. So what can you do as a good first step? First off, you can start by making a habit of checking in with yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean taking an observational perspective on your own psychology and feedback you might be getting from your body. You might ask yourself two questions. What am I thinking and what am I feeling? When I say thinking, I mean what are you telling yourself? This is usually in the form of some kind of internal monologue. And when I say what are you feeling, I mean what do you feel in your body? There are 4 indicators that give you the most feedback, and I have an acronym for this. It's BEST, B-E-S-T. B stands for breath, E stands for eyes, S for sensations, and T for tension. I only have time in this video to talk about breath, but it's the most important one. Breath is really interesting because most of the time it's automatic. We don't have to think about our breathing, but we can also control our breath top down. Later, you can change your breath to bring your stress levels up or down, but for the moment, I just want you to notice it. When you get good at this skill, you'll be able to notice very subtle changes in your breath as an indicator of what we call in sports psychology arousal level. I won't go into details of what we call optimal arousal, but for now it's just good to notice that shallow, rapid breathing is an indicator of stress and slow, deep breaths as an indicator of relaxation. For example, as I record this video now, I'm aware that my breath rate is slightly elevated, which is not a bad thing. An elevated response means I'm focused on what I'm doing. All this might sound obvious to you, but I can tell you that often people say they're relaxed when I can see that their breath rate is really high. These check-ins help us build the skill of self-awareness, and self-awareness is the necessary first step to mental training. First, we need to arm ourselves with self-knowledge. What is going on for us in the moment? What scares us? What do we avoid? What are our triggers? Only with self-knowledge can we then arm ourselves with the skills and tools to regulate how we feel and how we behave. So when to do these check-ins? I personally like to do them the day before an important climbing day, then again when I wake up in the morning, then perhaps on the way to the crag, boulders or climbing gym, then before I start climbing, and then if I'm distracted I might also check in with myself during a climb, and then again after I climb I'll do a mini debrief check-in. These check-ins are quick to perform, only 30 seconds or so. So what I'd like you to do is go away and introduce these check-ins into your climbing and ask yourself, first, how am I feeling? And second, what am I thinking? And start using your breath as an indication of how you feel. So to keep it simple, you could just start before and after a climb or boulder. For now, it's not about trying to change your experience. If you do naturally, then that's fine. But the main thing is for you to first just observe your experience, and then later you can reflect on what you've discovered. Perhaps the thing you thought was triggering your fear was actually something else, or perhaps through these check-ins you're more connected to your stress levels throughout a climbing session. With these check-ins, it's really not about judging our experience as good or bad. Rather, it's just being curious about what's going on for us in the moment. Okay, go away, introduce these check-ins into every climbing day, or perhaps even every climb. See what comes up for you, build some of that self-awareness, and I hope that's been helpful.